The easiest way to explain what an investment wholesaler does, I think, is to just reference this movie, The Big Short. This is the only movie clip I've ever seen that actually depicts what an industry financial wholesaler does in their daily activities. I did this all over the country, mainly west of the Mississippi, but here's an example of what a wholesaler would do. And I actually worked for Deutsche. I did not do what this guy did, but here's an example of what a wholesaler does from The Big Short.
Okay, hi. How are you?
Have a seat.
Okay, Mr. Bennett from Deutsche Bank. Here we have.
I've only heard stories about wholesaling in Manhattan. You know, that's the mothership. You know, the guys who covered New York were supposedly the mavericks of the company, you know, the best of the best, the Top Gun guys. The first few minutes of your meeting are pretty stressful. You just spent $2,000, you spent 3 months, your scheduler and your internal, you've set up this meeting, you got your chance, you got one opportunity to make these people think you've got something to offer.
So how many people have you talked to about this trade?
A few. There's definitely some interest.
Oh, my boss would have my ass.
You know, crazy, Jim?
Not gonna
Get lost,
Fuck
Jerry.
you.
Which is why you're here talking to us, a wrong number. Sounds like there's a lot of interest.
All right. A few people have invited us in just to laugh at me on this deal. Is that you?
No.
Is that what this is?
That's not what this is. That's just how Mark is.
Remember, all this is an example of what a wholesaler does. We're not going to get into the details here of what happened during the financial crisis and kind of, you know, what I had to deal with. That'll be for shows down the road. We will talk about that, but we got to start somewhere.
Let's see what you got.
I'm sorry.
You smell that? What is that?
What?
What's that smell?
A cologne?
No.
Opportunity.
No. Money.
Okay.
I smell money.
Okay.
This is him attempting to use humor to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. You got to remember, walking into a room full of brokers or private equity managers or hedge fund managers, these guys have egos the size of Lower Manhattan. I mean, it's amazing. I've got some stories. We'll get into those down the road. Biggest egos you'll ever deal with in your life.
This is your basic mortgage bond. All right? The originals were simple. They were just...
Now, as you'll see here, in the beginning, every one of these guys has their eyes locked on this wholesaler. That is a good sign.
A's getting paid first. The lowest rated B's getting paid last, taking on defaults first.
Wholesaling during the financial crisis was probably one of the toughest periods there was for wholesaling. But they get paid a lot of money, so they kind of deserve it.
Chris? Somewhere along the line, these B's and double B's went from a little risky to dog shit. Where's the trash?
Behind you.
I'm talking rock bottom FICO scores.
I remember all this stuff like it was yesterday. It kind of brings a little PTSD. Yeah, these things were really happening.
No income verification.
Oh yeah, the old no income verification. Sure, sir, you can borrow $1.2 million. Just go ahead and tell us what you make. We don't need you to prove that you make that much money. Just take it, hand it out. Here you go. Here's another couple $1 million. Go buy real estate.
Adjustable rates, dog shit. The default rates are already up from 1% to 4%, fellas. And if they rise to 8%, and they will, a lot of these triple Bs are going to 0 too. And that, you're too close, is an opportunity.
Okay, you're saying that at 8% the bonds fail and we are already at 4%?
Now, these people are real. This guy was Steve Eisman. He was considered to be a Wall Street rebel. Started as a lawyer, became a financial analyst. Now remember, financial analyst is basically somebody who has an opinion, and opinions are all they are. Now, some might think that opinions move markets. They can. That's why our country's leaders and our politicians need to have their trading privileges looked at, because when you have an opinion and you have power, you have the ability to marry those up into what's called making lots of money.
That's right.
If they go to 8, it's Armageddon.
Yeah, that's right.
How come nobody's talking about this?
You're completely sure of the math.
Look at him. That's my quant.
You're what?
My quantitative. My math specialist. Look at him. You notice anything different about him? Look at his face.
That's pretty racist.
Look
I
at
guess this movie was made back when you could still make jokes.
his eyes. I'll give you a hint. His name's Yang.
A wholesaler travels the country, visits brokers, wealth managers, independent advisors, registered investment advisors, hedge fund managers, family offices, you name it. If you are a professional who would purchase an investment for a client or for yourself, a wholesaler's out there looking to give you an idea. And usually that idea consists of investments that are in your briefcase that you then make money on, and hopefully everybody makes money on. But therein lies what wholesaling, the essence of wholesaling really is. And it just so happens to be the highest paying sales job in the country. Hands down, no question.